what we'll do is we thought we'd come on, and I'm just recording this anyway, because Reg is doing a 1 day sale, just a quick special on a course that he's doing in March at the Hypnosis New Zealand conference. And it's a really good discount. So I thought we'd just jump on live and I'll get Reg to actually explain what we're going to be doing at the workshop. One thing with it is we have done it quite a few years ago in the upstairs in the when I had that big office upstairs with all the different rooms, in the dance
Oh yeah,
studio.
that was cool, wasn't it?
Oh my God, it was insane. I think at
Yeah,
that one we did something a little bit different. It was for doing stage stuff, eh? And we went and did the
yeah,
stage show at night time, which was a little bit different. But
yeah, yeah.
it
That
was
was
so
more
much fun.
focused on the people that actually wanted to do stage stuff. So what we did was we did the training course day one, and then we had a show on the
Yeah,
night.
at a pub.
Yeah, and then we did the post-mortem. I mean
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the post-match analysis the next day, where people could ask questions because they'd actually been at the show. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And I'll tell a secret things you did. You had one chick going around in the break counting people's elbows,
oh yeah,
like of the
cool.
whole pub. And then remember that guy, the guy who said he couldn't be hypnotized. And then in the break, you had him going around and writing down everyone's underwear, the type of underwear and the color. And
Yeah,
he had to
yeah.
come back and tell everyone, fuck, that was funny.
Yeah, so he's the underwear inspector. So I gave him like a little pen and a notepad, and he had to go around. And he was so thorough, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And I think it was my daughter, my older daughter, for people that are listening, that said she wasn't wearing any. And so he had to
yeah,
like call it out at the end. And you're like, point to the ones that aren't wearing undies.
yeah.
And he's looking around.
Do you know what's
Brilliant.
really funny is I kind of came up with that whole skit by accident because I needed them to do something in the interval.
Yeah,
And I usually give somebody like a mop or a brush and say, "You're the cleaner, go around and clean the place."
yeah,
And they can get really into it and clean the toilets and all sorts. And sometimes I have to go and rescue them because people
yeah,
say, "Look, she's dying to go to the toilet, but she won't stop cleaning to
yeah,
go to
yeah,
the
yeah.
toilet." And sometimes I'll send them like I'll go, oh, if it's a woman, I'll say, "Oh, that men's toilet's so dirty. You need to
Oh
go and
God.
clean." So yeah, that can be interesting. But
Yeah, yeah.
once I did it at a club, and the next time I went to the same club and did a show, they said, "Oh, when you get the cleaner to do the cleaning, can you get her to clean the piano again?" And I went, "What?" And they said, "Oh, last time, whoever it was you got to do the cleaning did such a good job of cleaning the
Clean the
piano
piano.
that we didn't get our cleaner to do it because."
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, I needed something to do. So I all I had was a pen, and I said, "Oh, I don't think I even had a pen." I just said to a guy, "Go ask everybody what underwear they're wearing
Yeah.
during the interval." And he came back and he'd found a pen and he'd written it all on his hand. And he
Oh,
showed me, and he got this tiny, really neat writing all over his hand, and it was like the brand, the color, and the style of the underwear. And I was
yeah.
like, this is actually good. This is really good because he'd taken it so seriously. And you saying about somebody going commando and wearing no undies, it always happens
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because what the audience don't know is that when the guy comes back after the interval, I get them to read out the list, and
Yeah,
then I
yeah, yeah.
say, "Oh, who's this here? Says no underwear," and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
points
yeah.
them out. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
good
it's so
fun.
funny.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not doing that this time.
No, no, no. Oh, well, you can do funny shit with us
Oh
on the
yeah,
day.
yeah. I think
Just not me. We have a
no, no,
contract that there's no funny stuff with Jay. Yeah.
no. I mean, it's not. I don't do anything dodgy, really. I mean,
Well, I do
my
know Caroline's coming and you can have fun with her. I give you permission. She probably won't. I give you permission to have fun with her.
oh, I'm sure
She's
we'll
a
have
bloody
lots
good
of fun.
sport anyway.
I think the thing is that there's ways you can have fun without it embarrassing anyone, and you don't even have to get people up. This is the other thing about demonstrating hypnosis. There's a lot that you can do with people while they're still sitting in their seat
Yeah,
together
yeah, yeah.
with all the rest of the audience or their friends or whoever's there. Because I'm from like a alternative comedy background, so I started doing stand up in the early '90s in England. And the whole thing about alternative comedy was it was not sexist, it was not racist, it was very politically correct, although it wasn't called that back then.
Yeah,
But it was
yeah.
still really silly and really funny. And so that's what kind of feeds my whole attitude towards humor is let's do something really funny, but it's not targeting any particular group. And it just so happens that it lends itself really well to a group of people that you're demonstrating to, and you want to help them afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I used to get people after every show come up to me and say, "Oh, can you help me with blah blah blah? Can you help me with this?" And then I realised it's because of the way I do my show, because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, it's
kind
real
of.
educational, eh?
I hope so. Yeah.
Well, the one that we did, well, it wasn't we, it was you, but I happened to be there, was very educational, teaching the audience. And I had people come to me afterwards for weight loss because you pointed in quite a few different things. I think you
Yeah.
pointed me out at the end of it. If you want help with hypnosis, I'm not here, but go see her.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
I ended up getting quite a few clients
Yeah. No, that's good.
from
That's
that.
good to
And
know.
that's one good thing. Like if people are listening and doing the rapid inductions and what you're teaching, it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be just for street and stage. It's for the clinic, eh?
Oh,
Like if you're doing
absolutely.
groups
Yeah.
of people and
Yeah, a lot of people use these techniques one-on-one in the clinic. It just gives you more time to focus on other things. And sometimes we get those clients who are quite skeptical and quite difficult. And yeah, a lot of the inductions that I work with are designed to kind of slip in under the radar,
yeah,
and get them hypnotized really quickly without them actually realizing that's what's going on, rather than like a progressive relaxation where there's lots of opportunity for conscious involvement.
yeah,
Sometimes by demonstrating like a little thing that shows that their subconscious is speaking directly to you, or you're speaking directly to their subconscious, bypassing their critical faculty, then that's all you need to
yeah,
sort of
yeah,
start
yeah.
a session. So yeah, even though it works well to demonstrate in front of groups, basically my thing is fast inductions, and it always has been. I mean, that's what I
Yeah, yeah,
found
yeah.
found I enjoyed most and found that I was good at. So yeah,
Yeah. I remember because we had quite a big group at the last one there. I think it was 27 people or something, eh? At the
it was
last.
massive. Yeah, it was
Yeah, it was
it was
big.
big. The
Um,
photos are still online somewhere. I know it came up
yeah,
in my
yeah.
memories not
I
long
know
ago,
it's
and I
pretty
was
cool,
like,
eh?
oh, that's good.
But I was thinking one of the biggest things I heard from people was they gained confidence. Like even if they weren't going to, I know that one was specifically for stage, but a
Yeah,
lot of them came just because they wanted confidence in straight hypnosis. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? And inductions and stuff. Because a lot of the time, some of the courses miss it. They only do like a progressive or kind of
yeah.
real basic stuff, but aren't taught actually hypnosis. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the most common thing hypnotherapists will say to me if I'm at a conference, or if a hypnotherapist comes to see me at a show, they'll go, I must get back onto doing those rapid inductions. And you're like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
what's stopping you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I try and teach everything in ways that you can easily repeat. Because that's the other danger of doing things in a training room. It's quite it's like a bit of a false setup in many ways, and people think, it's if it works the same as it works in the training room. So I try and make everything as applicable outside of the training room as obviously in the training room.
Mhm.
So yeah, we always take into account that it is an educational setting, but what I'm
Yeah.
teaching you is things that you can take away and actually use.
Yeah, I know quite a few friends of mine are starting to work corporate as well. They're actually being asked to go into organizations and do groups and do
Yeah.
demonstrations and things like that, which
Yeah,
is really cool.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've always said, you go to a gym and say, can I talk to some of your members? Because they're always looking for things to justify their members paying membership.
yeah,
And to have you go along and entertain them and educate them, imagine how many clients you could potentially pick up out
yeah,
of that
yeah,
week. So
definitely.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so this workshop, this one, it's on the Friday. What kind of things are you running through on that?
I mean, I'll cover everything really. So for me, the hypnosis starts as soon as you meet somebody. So I talk about before the induction, what actually happens before the induction, and
That's
how
why I don't
can.
remember meeting you. It's all a blur. I have no memory of quite a lot of the first year or two, Rich. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I remember last time you were here in Australia,
I've got no memory of that. No, I'm kidding. Yes, I do.
I took control of your hand,
Oh yeah, at the table.
and way after we'd finished, you're like, I
It's
think
not
my
my
hand is
hand
still
anymore. This
yours.
is not a good situation. I don't want a man with control of my hand.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like my hand anymore. I'm pretty sure it's still yours. I was like, oh, don't worry, you'll be right.
Okay, I came
Just
back.
scratch my shoulder for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, funny. Sorry, what were we saying? Oh, yeah, so
Oh yeah, the
I'll
day.
start with things before the induction. So it's ways of really using suggestion in such a way that you're already starting to create the frame for change.
Yeah,
So you're looking at the end goal, and obviously the end goal is to create change for your client or for somebody in the group that you're demonstrating on, or multiple people. So we start with that in mind. And the beautiful thing about that is that because you have that end goal in mind, then you're doing it in such a way that you're going to succeed.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so you're never really giving failure an option, but setting everything up so that if something doesn't work, because let's face it, not everything will work for every single person. I've got some really nice little tricks and techniques to lead you down, like almost flow chart it. So you go, right, we're going to try this very, very low pressure, very low key. We're going to try this with the client, so much so that they don't even realize that you're testing something, you're trying something. And if that doesn't work on them or it doesn't get the response that you want at that stage, then we can just segue naturally into something else. So yeah, I take it right from that, which I call icebreakers, just for want of a better word, really. So we go from icebreakers into inductions, and then once we've induced somebody, a deepener if it's necessary. Sometimes the induction and deepener can be merged into
yeah,
one. Sometimes you go straight from an icebreaker through an induction, through a deepener, and it's all seamless and it's just basically like one module.
yeah.
Um, and then we start to look at how we can now start to give some suggestions
Mess with people.
to convince them of the state that they're in, but also to also bear in mind that end goal still and start to do some change work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Awesome.
safely bring them out of it at the end.
Yeah,
When I say safely, I do mean safely for their safety, but also safely that you're not just trampling over all of the good work that you've just done,
yeah, 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 yeah,
because your client is still so suggestible, even when you're waking them up, or even after you've woken them up.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
silly little things like I've seen so many hypnotists. They go, oh, when I count to five, I get to five, clap my hands, and you open your eyes, clap to five, and they're going. Well, that's really helpful for your client, seeing you
yeah,
looking to see what happened.
yeah,
You got to remember they're going to open their eyes with a nice big smile on your face. Great, wasn't that good?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Because yeah, they're suggestible, and an expression on your face that looks like, did that
Did
work?
that
Were they
work?
actually
Yeah, yeah,
hypnotized?
yeah,
They're
yeah,
going to pick up on that straight away.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
silly little things like that we have to remember.
yeah.
But
And we'll
yeah.
talk about doing groups and things like that, eh?
Yep. So, yeah, how you kind of work with a group. So you're not just doing an icebreaker with one person. You're doing things that will work with a whole room. And then who are you looking for? What sort of responses are you looking for to grab the people that might be best to work for your
So
demonstrations?
what's one of the things, I know what I look for. What's one of the things you look for in a person?
What's one
What's
of the
one of your
things?
secrets? What's one of the things, if you were looking around the room and you
Yeah.
knew that your victim, looking for your victim, I call them victims,
Yeah.
what's one of the things you look for?
Well, I look for that. I want them to be paying attention.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, am basically looking for somebody that's almost preempting what you're doing
yeah,
so that they're completely focused. I mean,
yeah,
they have to be focused, really. So, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can kind of spot them early on, eh? Like you walk
Oh,
into
you
a room
can.
and you can, it's almost like the bubbly fun ones with the big eyes and lots of white. I've noticed the whites of their
Okay.
eyes are always, I always look
But
at the whites of people's eyes and I'm like, that'd be
yeah,
easy to mess with.
I always say though, look, if I could walk into a room full of people and notice straight away the people who I'm going to be able to work with, That would be a big fun part of my show gone,
Yeah.
because part of the show is actually deciding who you're going to be able to work
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah,
and working out who you're going to be able to work with for the purposes
yeah,
of your demonstration.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's part of the fun, and I think
yeah,
that's what keeps me interested in it. Because as you know, I do magic, and if I do too many magic shows, time after time after time, I get really bored because I
yeah.
kind of know the outcome. Whereas hypnosis, the reason I keep doing it and I stay interested in it is because you never know what you're going to
Yeah.
come
And
across.
when you did that show in Rotorua, it was really interesting because the funniest lady you hypnotized was the one that didn't really move much, eh? Remember when you
Yeah,
did the horse race and everyone's racing their horses and running
yeah,
around? And then there was this one chick and she was kind of half
yeah,
half, but her movements were so little. Like when she was riding the horse, it was like she
yeah,
was so into riding the horse, but you could barely even see she was riding one. She was fucking hilarious. She was the
yeah,
funniest one out of
yeah.
all of them, eh?
But you see that, that's the thing. And also, I've seen hypnotists in shows and they get rid of somebody because they're like that, they're still and they're quiet, and you go, oh man, there's
But they're
so
so
much.
funny.
So much you could get out of that person. So
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
talk about that too. What do you do if the person that you get up on stage isn't, because they're not, like you pointed out, they're not all extroverts and they're not
yeah,
all
yeah,
hilariously funny straight away. So you end up with somebody quiet. Well, there's always something you can get them to do. You
yeah,
can
yeah,
count the number of people in the room, and then when I ask you how far you got, you're going to tell me the number, and then you're going to instantly forget it and have to
yeah,
start again. you know,
yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah,
always something you can do. And like you say, I got her to count people's elbows because I thought, yeah, that's something that she'll do well. But
yeah,
also,
yeah.
it's something so ridiculous that she's just gonna deliver it deadpan like it was
And do
seriously
it
her job.
perfectly.
You know? Yeah, yeah, and it
Yeah,
was her job, so of course she was going to give you the right answer.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, so that makes it funny to people as well. And
yeah, yeah,
she's not being embarrassed by that or anything. You just sort of you've asked her to do a job and she's completing that task. So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. And people
Cool.
who know her will see her doing that and go, "Oh my God."
Yeah,
And it's interesting because I encourage people to ask them, why did you do that? What were you thinking when you did that? Because that's interesting to me as well.
yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
always that conscious justification. I've had people say, well, I could have got up and left at any time. And they go, well,
Why
that's
didn't you?
great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Thanks for not doing that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
also you've got to ask yourself, well, why didn't you?
Especially something so silly like counting elbows.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Mm.
I had a guy whose birthday party it was once, and he said, oh, you were telling me that in a moment when you open your eyes, you're going to get up and dance like an idiot. And I was thinking, yeah, like F I am. He said, and then you get one, two, three, and I'd be like, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. And that was really interesting to me, is that part of him is consciously really trying
Yeah,
to resist, and then he ends up doing it anyway. So because I've done so many shows and I've hypnotized so many people, either on the street, one to one, or in big groups, or even small groups, then I've got lots of stories like that. And I think that's a big part of my training, is telling people this might happen. Don't don't let it worry you. Like you say about that self-confidence thing. Confidence comes from just repeating the
yeah,
same thing.
yeah,
I always say to my kids, like, if you're going to feel nervous, it's because it's the first time you've done something. The second time, you'll notice you feel less nervous.
yeah,
And then by the third time, you're like, well, you can't even put yourself in that place where you felt so nervous. Okay,
exactly.
occasionally
Yeah,
it comes back and surprises you. But part of what I want to do in the training room with people is actually get them to repeat what they're learning in front of other people, even if it's in front of the other students, so that the first time they get up and do it in front of a group, it won't be the first time they've done all these things.
that's that backwards thing where people go, how did you get the confidence to start? You don't get the confidence to start. You have you get the balls to start. I don't know another word
Yeah.
for the balls to start because like, you're probably not allowed to say that anymore.
Yeah.
But you kind of have
I'm
to
sure
you
you
have to build up that ball of stupidity to get yourself out there doing it. But it's
Yeah.
once you
Yeah.
start doing it, you get confident, hey?
Yeah.
But a
Yeah.
lot of people expect that the confidence comes from sitting down reading books and then I should be able to do it. But no, you got to get out and do it, eh?
You've got to get out there and do it. You
It's
really
like
do. I remember
hypnosis
when
in
I
general.
first started doing stand-up comedy, I didn't get this advice, but I heard overheard somebody telling somebody else, nobody is going to appoint you suddenly a comedian.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like they're going to give you a certificate that says, there you go, now you're a comedian. You are a comedian by getting up there and being a comedian.
Being a comedian, yeah.
You know, and it's very similar with demonstrating hypnosis. You become a demonstrator of hypnotism or an entertainer of hypnotism by getting up there and doing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even just what we're doing now, talking on Zoom on Facebook. If you asked me 7 or 8 years ago if I'd be doing this, there was no way in hell.
No.
Hey, but it's just you get so used to it from doing it and doing it. And
Yeah.
now it's like I couldn't even imagine what it'd be like not to just be able to jump on Zoom and talk and not care what people think, you know?
Absolutely.
Just
Yeah.
takes time, takes confidence in doing it, eh?
Yeah. I remember going onto a radio show once when I was like in my early 20s when I first started doing entertainment. And I had a really bad experience and it really put me off going on the radio. So much so that I kind of avoided it. And then I
Yeah,
thought, this is silly. I've just got to do it. I've just got to put myself through it, you know? And by telling yourself that was one experience, that's unlikely to repeat itself. And if it does, you've already done it once. It's like the reverse thing. Do you know what I mean? Well, I've already done that once. I already made myself look an idiot once. So if it happens
yeah,
again, at
exactly.
least it's
Yeah,
not the first time I've done it, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's lots of little tips and techniques that
I
people
suppose doing hypnosis, a hypnosis show, if something doesn't really work, you can turn it around and make it as if it was supposed to go that way, right?
yeah, well, that's kind
You've
of what
probably
I'm
done that
saying
enough.
is that, yeah, I mean, there is such a way of doing it that there's no failure really, you know.
Yeah,
Everything is framed in a way that it's going to work. And if it doesn't go, that see, they don't know when it's not working. That's the other thing.
yeah,
So yeah, I did a show recently, and I hypnotized comedians in front of their usual audiences, and I just said to them, look, whatever you do, don't say this isn't working because you don't know at what point it starts working. And
yeah,
you don't know what the audience are perceiving, and you don't know what I'm perceiving, what I'm aiming
yeah,
to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
So let's just not say, let's forget those words exist, and let's
Yeah.
just go through with
There's a
it.
good suggestion. Those words do not exist until you
Yeah,
leave here.
that's what I'm saying. Say yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's look, it's a fun course. It's really practical, as you know. I mean, I can't even my power talk that I do.
Yeah,
It has to be interactive and it has to be fun because that's my kind of comfort zone. Really,
yeah,
is being entertaining. So
yeah,
yeah, it's a fun day. It's a real
yeah,
fun
yeah,
day,
cool.
and you get something out of it, and you will get the chance to practice everything that we learned in front of people. So yeah, yeah. I
Cool.
mean, we had one guy. I think that was in Rotorua. He wanted to demonstrate to martial arts people.
Yeah, 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 that's right. Yeah.
So he was
Yeah,
using a combination of hypnosis and martial arts. I know nothing about martial arts, but I do know a bit about about hypnotism and about
yeah,
demonstrating hypnosis. So we were able to get him to put together like a really nice little concise demonstration that was appropriate for the people he would be talking
yeah,
to and demonstrating to, and it worked really nicely. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, cool.
yeah.
So I'll get to two things for people listening. One, we'll put the link below this.
Mhm.
And I think it goes till lunchtime tomorrow, eh? Around that time.
Yeah, well,
It was 24 hours.
I've got it so that from the first person who signed up for on the special, and we have had people sign up on the special,
Yeah.
from whenever the first person was, that kind of set the 24-hour
Oh,
clock
yeah, yeah,
ticking.
cool.
So yeah,
Awesome.
whenever that first one was, it'll the offer will end 24 hours later. Sorry, that's not much use to people, but
Yeah,
if that link still exists, use
it's
it
working. Yeah.
because it's
And the other
working.
thing for people listening, for people that actually get to the end, comment if you've actually ever been. I know that we've all been hypnotized and we've all had hypnotherapy. If you're listening to this and you've got to the end, you're a hypnotherapist. Like you must be, or else you just love us lots. Our pretty faces. But what I want to know is how many hypnotherapists have not experienced the hypnotic phenomena? Like how many hypnotherapists that are listening have not been stuck to a chair or rode a boat that wasn't there or lost a number or
Being
whether they
unable
didn't
to
have it
say
in their
something.
training, or saying something, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But comment below if you've never actually had that experience because I bet you it's a heap. I'm like, we do it in the diploma. We have a little bit of fun just to experience it, but they're so easy to work with by day 5 because they've done 5 days of hypnosis,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'd be curious to know how many people haven't actually experienced
Yeah,
that
that's
kind of
nice.
that. Yeah. So put comment below because I reckon everyone should
Yeah.
just,
No,
you know what
that's
I mean?
absolutely right. And
Doing
yeah,
it on people and experiencing
yeah,
it is so freaking important for what we do,
yeah. And
especially
I
for
always say
ortho.
with my courses, there's no such thing as observing.
Yeah.
Ev- Everybody takes part, you
I
know.
don't know. There's actually, I know a couple of people that come along to courses and don't usually take part, and I know they took part in yours. I know they did
Oh,
because I
that's good to
remember.
know.
Yeah.
That's really good to know. Yeah, I'm very persuasive.
Sweet. All right, everybody. So happy New Year and hope to see you, everyone that's listening in March. And
Yeah.
thank you, Reg, for coming off the beach in
Hey, no
Australia.
problem.
And
Yeah, I know. We've had a nice day on the beach. It's become a bit of a family tradition that we go for a walk on the beach and we try and do a different beach as much as possible. And so many beaches around
yeah,
Victoria, so that's really good. But I'll be back in Auckland. I'll be back in New Zealand, which is where I
yeah,
lived for 20 odd years. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to
So
being
you're
back
still a
in
Kiwi
Auckland in
anyway.
March. I'm a Kiwi
Kiwi
citizen.
citizen, yeah.
Yeah.
With a English accent living in Australia.
That's right.
And a
Slowly
comedian, it kind of fits.
slowly becoming an Aussie accent. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, cool. All right, see you everybody.
See you later. Thanks, everyone.